What's this? Me exploiting a plot hole in the MyStreet canon? When has that ever happened? Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking. On my new Discord server, link in the description, I recently conducted the first ever Aphmau Thursday event, where me and a bunch of the members on there just watched a bunch of Aphmau videos. You know, pretty straightforward and equally fun. We decided to watch through the first episodes of Phoenix Drop High, seeing as my butter brother Roy hadn't actually watched Season 1. Full disclosure, Season 1 is actually what drew me in to the Aphmau fanbase and made her much more than just just one other YouTuber that I would occasionally come back to. It's what introduced me to the wondrous world that is MyStreet, and that has now become my favourite show of all time. So it holds a special place in my heart, I must say. Which makes the fact that I missed out today's plot hole all the more bizarre to me. For context, take a look at this iconic scene from episode 21.
I don't know. What is that noise? It's like I think I did something bad. Not only to them, but to someone else today. As well, everything just seems so twisted. And I just need someone to talk to.
Are you getting texts?
Huh? Huh? Wait!
You? Okay, I'm sure that we all know that one. But now take a look at this one from episode 4.
Huh. It's taken a while to respond. That's not like FC at all. Hey. Sorry, I'm a little busy at the moment. Can we talk later? Yeah, sure. Is everything okay? Yeah, just can't text right now. Huh. Okay.
Huh? Did he just drop something?
Why didn't their phones go off? Like the same way they did in the music room, supposedly. I mean, did they both go on silent mode because they're in detention? It's possible, but then if that's the case, they're worried about getting caught using their phones, why use their phones at all? I mean, I'm sure that Aaron probably doesn't care, he wouldn't give it a second thought or even a first thought, but Aphmau? I mean, she would. And if Aaron doesn't care, on the flip side of that, why would he bother putting his phone on silent mode? It doesn't make sense, he's going to end up in detention again anyway for another fight or something, so it would just occur, it would just happen. Well, today I'm back with another what-if scenario, almost a year after the first one. Today, I bring you, what if Aphmau met FC early? In this scenario, in that detention scene, Aphmau and Aaron's phones do keep going off in response to each other. The pair of them exchange a bunch of suspicious glances, kind of drawing the connection in their minds and thinking, is this what's actually happening? Just like in the original, Aaron drops his phone, but this time Aphmau realizes what it is that he's dropped and what exactly that means given the current situation. You? It can't be. Is this some kind of sick joke? She cries out, mirroring her canon reaction. Quiet over there, calls Jeffrey. Immediately, Aphmau apologizes and goes back to staring at Aaron, this time with a mixture of confusion and utter shock. Aaron picks up his phone and texts her. Shu? Is that you? Upon reading the text, Aphmau is shaking too much for her fingers, or whatever it is they have in Minecraft, to be able to press any buttons back. So she simply looks back and nods. Aaron texts again. Clearly, we need to talk later. Once again, Aphmau nods, and they spend the rest of detention not knowing what to think. After detention is over, they kind of have a similar chat to the original episode 21, namely, oh yeah, you look so much taller in the game, or there's so much more to Aphmau than I really knew, etc, etc. This time it's less emotionally packed and they're a lot less scared or stressed or not knowing what to think because they've only known each other for less than a week at this point and they've only had a couple of run-ins. Therefore, it's not so jarring to learn that who it is that they actually are, as it would be if they'd waited for those months and the reveal came when it actually did. They sort out the differences much, much quicker, and then walk out of school laughing heartedly at something that one of them has said. Just as before, Lawrence is there to greet Aphmau, but this time he sees Aaron with her. Bewildered, he goes up to confront his friend. Aphmau? What are you doing with him? Do you know who this guy is? Aphmau beams at FC. I thought I did, she shrugged. Lawrence is stunned as Aaron actually smiles back. He composes himself quickly and asks Aphmau, "Can we talk for a minute?" "Oh, sure," Aphmau shrugs. Then she looks again at Aaron. "I'll see you tonight?" "Definitely," he replies. This being pre-season 2 Lawrence, you can imagine what his reaction would have been like. Something to the likes of, "What?" Or something to that effect. Aaron's reaction, on the other hand, might surprise. You got a problem with that? He's enjoying the fact that he might actually have a real-life friend in this instance. He's not going to go like full Zane protective mode or anything like that. But he is still thinking, you know what? If I need to defend my friend in this scenario, I will. Lawrence, on the other hand, has more or less the same reaction, and he squares up. I have a problem with any nice girl hanging out with the likes of you. Aaron grunts at him, inching slightly closer. But then he thinks, not worth it. Later, and off he goes. Aaron didn't start any of his fights. He simply participated in them and won them, essentially. He's not going to go around looking for trouble, especially with a human. Aphmau is less than pleased with Lawrence's reaction and demands an explanation. Lawrence proceeds to describe how Aaron was such a troublemaker over the years and how he'd been in 4 fights already since the school week began. I know in the original it says 5, but this is slightly earlier in the timeline than when that quote is mentioned, therefore I'm taking one off just to be on the safe side. I know, I was there for one of them, snaps Aphmau. But please, he's a good person deep down. I know it. I've kind of known him for a while. Oh, I'll trust you on this one. Just be careful, okay? Aphmau agrees. The pair still walk home in this version, but the atmosphere is way, way more tense in this version, and much more awkward. So they don't really even properly say goodbye to each other. Moving on to the next episode, Lawrence is supposed to ask Aphmau to join him and Gareth at the park, but this time he decides to leave her in peace and discuss the matter of Aaron further with just his brother-in-arms. After all,
if anyone deserves a chance at Aphmau, it's you or me. Not some guy who's got amazing abs, a deep, luscious voice, a well-chiseled face, and eyes as dreamy as the night sky.
While all that's going on, Aphmau and Aaron reconnect as Shu and FC and talk more about their personal lives. Aaron goes as far as to mention his estranged relationship with his parents and sister, and that they were into business, and that might have an effect on why it is that he's so standoffish and alone in his high school. Obviously, he's not going to go around and say the real reason, but that's as far as he's prepared to open up at the moment, and Aphmau respects that. Aaron mostly does the listening, and just learns about the fact that Aphmau moved back to her childhood city, where she'd been before, that she was homeschooled, etc., etc. Just her opening up to him, and that was much more comfortable for the pair of them. And so it remained. Everything seemed to have worked out for the better. Except for one thing. To those of you who know Season 1 really well, you might have already guessed this, but the fact is that since Lawrence didn't invite Aphmau to the park on that day, that means that Aphmau never met Jean or the Shadow Knights. At least not for the moment. And that's going to have major consequences down the line. But that is where we're going to leave things until the next episode. So what do you guys think? Will Gareth and Lawrence distance themselves from Aphmau before they really get to know her? What plan might they have to split her and Aaron apart? What other major events in this timeline will change? Let me know what you think in the comments, or simply just stay tuned for part 2. Remember to check out the Discord server in the description, and on that note, until next time, farewell.